Hello, I am Milk and this is Milk Astrology. It's going to be conjunct Venus and square Neptune. I do predict people entering relationships that perhaps they shouldn't during this time because I feel like people's judgment is going to be a bit disillusioned. I do think during Mercury retrogrades people kind of blindly take things that should just be for face value and they take it and they run with it. So like, I mean, you typically see a lot of people get called out during Mercury retrograde season. People are more argumentative online. You know, because it's in Gemini, it's in its domicile ruler. So going retrograde in its domicile ruler is going to be a lot more messy, especially with eclipse season hitting literally the opposing factor of full moon in Sagittarius opposing Gemini. So I feel like people are going to have this very intense need to be heard but not know what to say, or they're going to say the wrong thing, or information is going to be widely misunderstood or spread wrong or incorrectly because people just want to get it out there. They don't really care about like fact checking or examining things closely. So that's a little nerve-wracking. But if you want to know like how it's going to impact you specifically, look at where Gemini in your chart rules like the house. So I would prefer you go to astro.com and use whole house system. But basically, if you find the house that rules Gemini in your chart, you'll be able to look at the house definitions and get a general idea. So Gemini risings, the Mercury retrograde is going to impact all eyes on you, unfortunately, and I feel like it's going to be a little bit intense because I think you could be easily misunderstood during this time. I would say be careful with maybe how you make a point or get a point across because this could sometimes conflict with what you actually mean. I would say to be patient as well because people are going to be quick to just want to see what they want to see. So learning that like not pleasing other people right now is going to be your saving grace. Just keep that in mind. Sagittarius risings, Gemini is going to be in your 7th house. So basically you need to be mindful of the fact that relationships and intimacy could be a little bit tense right now. This could also be a really great time for like being messy in a fun way, but be mindful of like, or worry of entering or jumping into a new relationship, especially if you met that person during this time or if feelings were addressed during this time. It's not necessarily a Venus retrograde, so I don't want to say like it's beware, like I'm not saying that it's going to be the end of the world, but illusions are being shattered right now, but they're also being kind of created at the same time. So since it's going to be sitting in your house of relationships, I would just say to be mindful of the people around you and trust your gut instincts. So Taurus risings, Gemini is going to be in your 2nd house. This is going to be affecting your wallet specifically, so just be mindful of your purchases during this time. I'm not going to say that this is going to like create a lot of debt for you, but I would say to be mindful of the fact that you could be more relaxed or laid back with your money in ways that might not benefit you in maybe ways that you would like it to. So say for Scorpio risings, Gemini is going to be in your 8th house, so really be mindful of how much you put on your credit cards during this time. Taurus and Scorpio risings, the theme with Mercury retrograde and Gemini for you is going to be about your investments and like what you're doing that's causing a rippling effect on the rest of your life or like the productivity of your life. Basically just assume that like your bank account is dominoes and everything's going to have an effect with that. This also goes for the people that you choose to have in your life, the investments in your life. Investments is going to be the biggest theme for you, but I will say Scorpio risings, if you have your own business, this could be a really illuminating time because it's activating the house that works with other people's money. This could work for you or against you. I would just say to do your research. I wouldn't say that it's going to be something to be scared of or be wary of, but you have to be mindful that it's going to be impacting that house during this time. So to be careful with the decision-making process, like how much you put into Bitcoin or how much you put on your credit card. Those are things that you really should just double check. And then Aries risings, you're going to have Gemini in your 3rd house, which is literally your house of communications. Also siblings, so I would expect some kind of interesting miscommunications with siblings during this time. Take it with a grain of salt. I do think it's important to just be mindful. You don't need to say everything that you're thinking right now, and you don't feel like, just if you're feeling the need to perform or just like say something just for the sake of saying something. Just don't. Sitting in the house of literally communication, people are going to be wanting to twist your words against you. So pick your battles wisely. Be mindful of, you know, approaching things with sensitivity, and really just evaluate what you say before you say it. And then Libra risings, it's going to be in your 9th house. This is going to be an incredible time for you to pick up a book, start writing, start being creative, and also maybe like buying a lecture or a course online that really interests you. The more this can illuminate your mind and be helpful to you in that way, I think it's going to just be overall more strong and productive for you in the long haul. So Capricorn risings, it's going to be in your 6th house. This is going to affect your day-to-day structure and schedule. You might notice more like hiccups at work or miscommunications at work. I think just learning like what makes you feel more productive, and also learning how to prioritize balance between your work life and your home life is going to be your saving grace. Over assigning yourself to a lot of tasks and projects that you feel you need to get done is only going to burn you out faster. For Cancer risings, it's going to be in your 12th house. So this is going to be an extremely intense time for you, because the 12th house is literally the subconscious. It's also the house of hidden enemies and illness. So it's important to be mindful of really evaluating people. If your gut just feels weird about them, let people show you who they are right now. This would also probably be a time where you might feel a little bit more or less motivated, or even isolating. So just be mindful of the fact that you still need to get out of bed and drink water, and, you know, do things that are just gentle on yourself right now. Be prioritizing of what feels good for you, and be mindful of people who just don't respect that, because they're gonna show themselves right now. Aquarius risings, your 5th house is going to be activated. I would say the biggest theme about this is being mindful of pleasures in your life and maybe what you do too much in excess with. I would say to be mindful of miscommunications with loved ones, or I think just putting your energy into creative pursuits right now and kind of focusing less about pleasing people. It's going to be easier for you, but be mindful of doing things in moderation and finding balance between the two. And for Leo risings, it's going to be in your 11th house. There might be a little bit of drama with some friendships or with some maybe social media, because it's going to be in the house of social media. I don't think this is the worst thing that could happen, but I do think it's important to be mindful of really just taking time to... You don't have to be the middleman. You don't have to tell people what they want to hear just because they're pressuring you. Stick to your truth. If you feel like someone is starting drama for you unnecessarily, shut it down. This is really going to be a time where you're kind of faced with having to assert your boundaries. So just be mindful of that. Virgo risings, it's going to be in your 10th house. So this is going to be impacting your career. There could be miscommunications. I wouldn't say like doing interviews is bad for you right now, but do your research. Just be careful that you're not doing anything impulsively work-wise, you know, going to HR just because you're mildly inconvenienced, or, you know, telling a coworker something that maybe another coworker was doing. Just be mindful of like small things, because they could just become an anthill for no reason. However, this could be productive towards determining what career goals you actually want to have and move towards. So just be aware of that. And then Pisces risings, this is going to be impacting your home. So I feel like it's, in a way, this is kind of the most positive place to have a Mercury retrograde, in a way, because it's not going to be impacting you with your friend groups, with your job, with your loved one. I mean, kind of with your loved ones, but it's not going to be impacting you publicly. So I feel like this could be more like a saving grace. However, there could be communication issues with family members. You might need to clear something up with a family member, maybe even make peace with someone. Be mindful though of family members that just feel really draining on you. You know, no one's entitled to your time and energy. Or, you know, if you live with roommates, just be mindful of the fact that your home environment could have some miscommunication. So just be very clear about everything that you feel. Address the elephant in the room head on, and I feel like it's going to be the easiest way to approach things. But yeah, overall, that was kind of the quick overview rundown. I'm sorry if it was kind of jumbled, but again, I wrote more in-depth stuff on my Patreon if you want to support me for $8 a month, and you get free little mini readings throughout the month. And then if you want to watch my TikTok about this or watch my Twitter thread about this, those are both free. So yeah, please give it a like and a thumbs up. That's the same thing. And please comment below and tell me which house you have Gemini rising or Gemini in, and what you think about this video. If you think it's like something that you're not as scared about anymore, if you feel like I cleared up some things, let me know, and I will see you in my next video.